Well, it might be pretty quiet right now.
Good morning. You're watching Breakfast Television here on City TV, and there's a live shot down here at the Forks. No one there yet, but in a couple of hours, you never know.
No one there yet.
Yet.
But very shortly could be
We
live.
might be down there. We could be the only ones down there, or we could be surrounded by thousands of our friends.
Here's the deal. Jets, a lot of talk going on last night and this morning about an imminent party happening at the Forks tomorrow.
So after the announcement, which is rumored to be 10 a.m., that was on, then off, then on, then off. Maybe still on, not sure, still a few hours away.
And the hope is that we're kind of up against a deadline here, because the NHL wants, of course, if this announcement happens, to have it precede Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final.
Right, which is tomorrow, right?
Wednesday.
Okay.
All the cosmic tumblers are clicking into place. It's like Christmas morning. It's so exciting.
Maybe.
Don't do this. Don't wreck this. This is good. This is great. This is fantastic.
Nope, fool me once. Shame on me.
I don't know.
Fool me twice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shame on
This time,
you.
for sure. And here's a perfect example. I'm at the airport yesterday dropping off the in-laws, and I see a guy in a Jet shirt, and we start talking instantly. And I said, hey, enjoy tomorrow. He said, yes, tomorrow, definitely.
Tomorrow, it's going to happen.
Or Wednesday. Or Thursday.
Or Thursday.
That's
it's
that's a Jets fan. Tomorrow for sure, if not then
soon enough. Soon enough, but we'll keep you updated if we hear anything throughout the show.
Good morning. Thank you, Jenna. Well, recent reports suggest the return of the NHL to Winnipeg is imminent. Those involved say don't plan the party just yet. Fans have already taken their celebrations to the corner of Portage and Main, but the city says the official announcement bringing the Atlanta Thrashers to the Peg will happen at the Forks. There are reports that it could happen either today or later this week. True North Sports says no press conference is scheduled yet, and it's working through the legal details. The NHL isn't confirming anything, but do say it's possible the deal will be signed later this week.
Let's have bizarre celebrations. Let's forget who forget what forget.
Good morning, welcome back to Breakfast Television. Right now, pretty quiet at the Forks, but if the tweets are to believe, things could get very interesting.
Yeah, come at
on.
about 10 a.m. It could get very interesting.
Latest, we're hearing a whole bunch of sports reporters saying David Thompson of obviously True North is headed on a flight to Winnipeg. That's a good sign. And hearing that, let's see, we could have an announcement at 1 o'clock our time. But there's also a report that we could get announcement at 11 a.m. about the day ahead, which, if I read correctly, means an announcement about an announcement.
It's an announcement about an announcement. So it's not really 10 a.m. now. We're hearing maybe 11.
Maybe 11.
Maybe 1 p.m.
Yes.
Okay.
And we could get an announcement about an announcement. I hope at that announcement, there's another announcement.
Maybe the announcement at 11 is about the announcement at 1.
And then
Could that be it?
It could be.
And then another announcement at 1.
Or it could never happen. This is that Christmas present. You open, and then the funny person put another layer of wrapping underneath, and then one under that, and one under
rocks. All right, we'll see. We'll keep on top of this for you.
Excuse me. Thanks, Jenna. Well, one way or another, we will soon find out the fate of the Atlanta Thrashers and if, indeed, they are coming home. Unconfirmed reports say a news conference will be held at 11 o'clock this morning at the MTS Center, although True North Sports has previously said nothing is scheduled and they are working on the legal details. The NHL isn't confirming anything except saying it's possible the deal will be signed later this week. Fans have already taken their celebrations to the corner of Portage and Main.
All right, we're addicted to our Twitter feeds to figure out what's happening later today.
Yeah, and I've been apologizing to guests when they come into a car maintenance and guarding. I'm like, thanks for being here. We're a little distracted.
Just a little. Well, there's mad tweets happening. We're going to get caught up. We'll get Megan to join us. Maybe what she's wearing is a little indicator. Maybe.
I don't know. I don't want to jinx it, but it's looking more and more like today might be the day Winnipeg has been waiting for a very long time. Twitter has exploded. We officially now have the press release that says True North is making a significant community announcement at 11 o'clock this morning. So I think we can maybe put 2 and 2 together on this, and it's a very exciting day.
That's a great phrase.
A community
a significant community announcement.
That's what happens when you announce like a new ice rink or a pool or a slide at the playground. But this is a significant one.
I feel like that might be a bit of an understatement as well. And there's been reports of Gary Bettman being spotted on flights to Winnipeg. So it is looking more and more like this could be it.
Someone needs to camp out at the airport.
To
see him come in and then offer to like drive him down here.
It sounds like you're volunteering, Pay.
Gladly. I was there yesterday and asked the people at WestJet if there was a G. Bettman registered.
And of course, they'll gladly tell you that information.
No,
all right, thank you, Megan. Hopefully your jersey is good luck for everyone. Well, we're hoping.
Yeah, fingers crossed, and we're ready to go. It's like we've said so many times this morning. It's like Christmas morning. We're waiting and waiting and waiting.
And waiting.
Please let us open that present.
It's coming very soon. All right, we'll keep you updated as well, but right now we'll take a look. Good morning.
Crazy morning.
Some news is blowing this way, I have to say. 11 a.m. press conference. That's all we know right now.
All we know, significant community announcement.
Well, I do know that DJ's Co-op and Honeycutt, they were tweeting. They tweeted me that they are scheduled to be playing down here at the Forks along with bands all day, assuming that the announcement happens. So, and I said, do you know anything yet? They're kind of on standby. So I'm like, oh, they've got some DJs booked. They've got some bands booked. We're going to have a party.
I like to play some jump in the Canadian National Anthem for about 3 hours straight and call it a day.
Why not?
I like it.
Hey, thanks, Jenna. Well, you might want to take the day off work and cancel your plans because a major announcement will be made on the NHL's return to Winnipeg in just a few hours. Yes, it is official. We have word. True North Sports is holding a news conference at the MTS Center at 11 o'clock this morning to make a significant community announcement. I'll let you jet to your own conclusions.
Good morning. You're watching Breakfast Television here on City TV. Look at that. That is a shot of the Scotiabank stage down here at the Forks. And it's looking a little empty now, but you just wait in a couple of hours after this big community announcement at 11 a.m.
Significant community announcement is all we can actually say.
There will probably be a lot of people filling up that empty space down there. And if you feel so inclined, please come down and join us.
Come down and join us. I'm thinking a ball hockey game is going to start around 9:30 probably.
Maybe.
As long as we brought our sticks.
It's still early, so you've still got time. You still got time to figure out your schedule.
And if you can't join us, of course, live there, Rogers Sportsnet will go live at 11 a.m. this morning.
All right.
We can't say exactly what they'll be doing live at 11 a.m.
It's a major community announcement.
But
BT, we brought in Dancing Megan to give us the latest on what everybody's talking about.
Oh my goodness, this city is just buzzing this morning.
People have been waiting for this.
Yes, it's very exciting.
We just got word from the Forks, so what'd they say?
Yes, just got official press release from the Forks saying that they will be hosting a bit of a celebration today on the heels of an important, what does it say?
An important announcement for our city.
For our city.
And so the Forks and the City of Winnipeg are partnering in a special event for Winnipeggers.
A special event happening at the Forks starting at 11
Starting
o'clock
at
this morning.
11 a.m. under the canopy next to the Forks Market. There'll be special guests. There'll be dignitaries. There will be us.
And this comes after a press release from True North.
Yes, where there will be an announcement at MTS Center.
Yes, so upon this news, Atlanta fans are reacting. And of course, we all have to kind of take a bit of a pause for them because we've been there. We've been there.
No, because they've
Do you remember this?
I was actually... I do remember that people were upset.
Right.
I wasn't.
Not really? Yes,
I was kind of young, but I do remember that there was a lot of people
were upset, of course.
And now there are a few Thrasher fans, I assume,
Dozens
that would
of
be
people
upset. Someone tweeted, "Best of luck to Winnipeg with your new hockey team. Goodbye, NHL. You are dead to me." And it is that attitude that will never get a team back in Atlanta again.
And we shouldn't feel too
saying.
bad.
But you know what? That's
They're
what you say
used to
an-
this.
That's what you
It's
say after a
happened
breakup.
before.
This is what you say after a breakup. You're dead to me.
You're dead to me.
And then so you're saying if this is a breakup, there'll be a couple of weeks where where the team drives down to Atlanta and spends a
second
weekend
chance.
and then goes
second
back.
chance. Don't come
No
crawling
second
back.
chance.
You're dead to me.
I've heard that one before.
So,
You call back at the right time.
I want to also mention, keep us posted on how you're celebrating today. Send us tweets right on our wall. We want to see pictures. We want to see
We'd
video.
love to.
We want to see your reaction. So do keep us posted later on today. You can send us a tweet, twitter.com/BTWinnipeg, or go to facebook.com/BTWinnipeg. We want to stay in the loop as you celebrate the return of the NHL to Winnipeg.
Take the kids out of school, quit your job, head down.
Yeah, quit your job. That's
Yeah,
good.
but we didn't suggest that. It wasn't breakfast television.
Or
Winnipeg
just go
that
in
recommended
late
that.
or come down and
Okay,
go
or don't come in late.
Yeah.
Just have fun.
Have a good time.
And
Come and join us. There's still lots of room.
Should be tons of fun. Gonna take a break. Plenty more coming up on BT.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone.
Good morning. You're watching Breakfast Television here on City TV. As you can see, the Forks getting ready to host quite a celebration of sorts following an announcement at 11 a.m. today.
Should be fun. That's fun. We'll be there, and of course, Rogers Sportsnet will go live at 11 a.m. with the significant community announcement.
Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's all right.
Good morning. Welcome back to BT. Literally and figuratively, the sun is coming out.
It really is. It's like it knew that it's a good day for Winnipeg, and we needed that sunshine to just put it over the top.
And we just saw the last spot at the market being taken right there.
Yeah. Yes.
Not quite, but very soon this place is going to be filled up. If you are coming down, of course, join us. Bring your jersey, bring your noisemakers, bring your sense of fun, because well, we're all going to get a big boost of community pride.
Yes.
If you can't join us, of course, don't forget Rogers Sportsnet will be live at 11 o'clock.
That's right. T-minus 2 hours, 10 minutes till the biggest celebration in Winnipeg history. I'm sure of it.
No question. But we want everybody to join us here at the Forks.
Yes, there is a Facebook event that was created months ago called the Party at Portage and Main when the NHL announcement was made. Lots of people on there this morning saying, you know what? Forget the Forks. We're going to still party at Portage and Main, but we do urge you, come down to the Forks, say hi to us. Police are concerned that this could be a hazard to be partying at Portage and Main, but you know what? The party is going to be really awesome. Here, Pay was saying that DJs were saying that they're on. And it's just going to be packed here, so it's going to be fantastic.
And you won't miss anything. You know, you won't miss it. You won't miss the actual announcement coming out of MTS Center because the screens will be set up so you will see and hear the announcement here at the Forks. So join us if you can.
Yeah, this is the place to be. And we also put the call out on our Facebook page for you to send us your pictures of how you're going to be celebrating, and some are celebrating already.
All right.
So we got a picture posted by one of our Facebook friends. We've got this picture, so thanks so much to our Facebook buddy for sending us this. She was saying that her son wasn't even born when they left. But he's jacked, just like the rest of Winnipeg. We're excited.
A team, a city without a team. It's part of our identity. I think everybody's leeching onto this and grabbing onto this with both hands because I think it says something about us. We get a flag to rally around when it comes to civic pride.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks so much to Lori for posting that. And we'd love to see your pictures of how you're celebrating later on today, or if you're celebrating already this morning, go to facebook.com/BT Winnipeg.
And I don't know what plans are or what overtime it's going to be for us, but I'm pretty sure you'll see us down at the Forks today.
Oh yeah, it's guaranteed. And tomorrow's going to be a great show. We'll have all the highlights as well if you do have to work today.
If you have to. You might take a little break, maybe an early lunch. Let's check in and see what Rogers Sportsnet has to say.
In the Connected Studios, I'm Brad Fay. As Sportsnet first reported, a formal announcement is expected to be made today that the Thrashers are indeed moving to Winnipeg. The current ownership group claims the hockey club has lost more than $150 million since 2005. And as for attendance, the team ranked 28th out of 30.
I can just say that I'm proud of my partners for working hard to keep the Thrashers and paying a lot of money, all of us, to keep the team in town for longer than anybody else has thus far. And unfortunately, there are not enough of us that are passionate at this point in time to keep the teams to replenish what we need to have done. You know, we really have had a great run.
This is your celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us here on Breakfast Television. We are live down here at the Forks. Just 2 hours before the big party is about to start. Come on down, join us down here. You know what? The sun came out for a little bit. Rain has stopped.
It's lovely.
It's a little breezy, but that's about it.
Just wanted to
Perfect
quickly
weather.
mention we're going to be posting the performances by the Lincoln Middle School Jazz Ensemble on our website. Go to breakfasttelevision.ca to check those out later on today.
Yeah, you can always see the videos there of the show.
Yes, absolutely. And we are a little bit early, but we're in great
We've got the
company.
biggest fan here. Dancing!
Tom and Joe, this one's for you.
Oh, for Tom and Joe at City FM. Good stuff.
Dancing game. So you were already heading down for dance at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
Do you know something we don't know? Can you tell us anything about today's announcement?
Boy, I can't wait. It's been 15 long years.
Yes, you're speaking for all of Winnipeg when you
Now
say
it's
that. We're
finally
so
arrived.
excited.
It is, and the sun's come out now. We've got the sun peeking through. Ready for our big party down here at 11 a.m.
Forward
Thanks for joining us. You're probably the biggest fan around.
Yeah.
And you're here. You're the first one here.
Yeah.
All right.
So appropriate.
Perfect, man. We're proud of you. I think you look great, and we're really looking forward to the big announcement.
Oh, thanks, Jeremy.
And now, are you in? I wait to say, are you in dancing shape? Because it's been a while.
Are you ready
Good?
to dance?
I'm ready to dance.
Have a great day, everyone. We'll see you at 6 a.m.
Hockey fans crowded into the Forks. They closed down Portage Avenue, and they packed the lobby at MTS Center, all to say this.
NHL, welcome home.
Good evening. You are looking live at what's happening right now at the Forks. People have been celebrating here since about 9 o'clock this morning, all here to celebrate the return of the NHL to Winnipeg. Good evening. I'm Janet Stewart. Thank you for joining us. This has been quite a day in our city. 15 years after losing the Winnipeg Jets, Winnipeg is officially back in the game. The CBC's Sean Reynolds has been on this story all day for you. He joins us now live.
Well, I'm at the Forks, and I hope you can hear me, but I'm here where 15 years of hope and persistence are finally paying off. This is quite simply a dream come true for the people here, and it all started this morning with an announcement, one that Manitobans have waited for since 1996.
I'm excited beyond words to announce our purchase of the Atlanta Thrashers.
And with that, Winnipeg is once again an NHL city. In a room with the NHL commissioner, Canada's richest man, and the team's new owner, the response was restrained. But outside, it was a deal that went to the 11th hour, finally closing at 9 this morning. So late, the deal was almost lost.
If we didn't get this done today, I think there was a good chance it wasn't getting done. We were really out of time.
But according to Bettman, it was the patience, professionalism, and persistence of new owners Mark Chipman and billionaire David Thompson that got the deal done. Many have questioned why Thompson is even involved, if he's passionate about hockey in Winnipeg. Well, how's this for passion?
To actually move something forward that's distinctive and that makes a difference in people's lives. So I am committed to this community as I am to this country. It's about time.
When asked how it feels to be responsible for elating a city, co-owner Mark Chipman wasn't sure how to describe it.
Well, I've been trying to find the correct words. The ones that best come to mind is I feel very humbled. I really do.
As you can imagine, the seeds of this return were planted years ago. 2 deals to purchase the Coyotes fell through before True North set its sights on the Thrashers. The hunt started in 2007 when Chipman pitched our city to the league. He was up against 4 other major cities.
As I recall, it was Houston, it was Kansas City, it was Las Vegas, and it was Seattle.
Since then, True North and you, the fans, have proved this city is the #1 option. But Bettman says that could change if the support isn't there.
Unless the fans are prepared to support the franchise, it isn't going to work.
So get out your wallets, but congratulations, hockey fans. The NHL's back, and you earned it. Sean Reynolds, CBC News, Winnipeg.
And we'll tell you how you can get out your wallets a little later in the show. Hockey fans were very ready for this big announcement today. After 15 long years, this was the moment they'd been waiting for, and they weren't shy about showing their feelings. CBC's Wob Canoe was out at some of the celebrations. You know, he's still out there. Hey, nice jersey there, Wob. He joins us live.
Hey, thanks. This was actually a happy Jets fan who gave me this shirt to wear for our broadcast tonight. So I'm here at the Forks where the party continues. Take a look behind me and you can see where the musical performances are going on. That's the J.D. Edwards Band right now. To the north of us, there's a big street hockey game going on with dozens of participants. And of course, there are just tons of people in here just to soak up the good vibes. We're told there's about 4,000 people at the Forks right now, and more than 15,000 people have been here over the course of the day. But this isn't the only place they've been celebrating. They've also been at the MTS Center and Portage in Maine.
Finally, the Jets have come back to Winnipeg!
They may not be called the Jets, and they may not have won anything yet, but today was a victory celebration for these fans. Bernice Pontanilla wore this Save the Jets t-shirt to a rally at Portage in Maine 15 years ago.
We just couldn't believe that they would let the team leave, you know. That was a big feeling, and it was just heartbreak. So I put that away.
Pontanilla dug it out for her mom to wear today as Winnipeg's NHL Odyssey came full circle. Police closed the intersection at 11 and a street hockey game broke out. Winnipeggers cheered until their voices were shot, exorcising the demons of 1996. Adam Solinsky was 8 at the time.
Putting my shoes on, I was crying. I swear to God, I was crying. And I'm crying today because they're back, baby!
Hundreds more jammed into the lobby of the MTS Center to try and hear the announcement. The press conference was closed to the public, but no matter. They heard the news and headed east down Portage. Everyone at Boston Pizza, when news broke, got a free lunch. Former Winnipeg Jet Russ Romanuk says it's impossible not to get swept up in NHL fever.
Winnipeggers should feel really lucky that they've got a second chance now to show their support.
Thousands showed at the Forks to watch the televised announcement and to see Mayor Sam Cates make good on his promise to lead the conga line. Michelle Rose was on hand to celebrate. Like so many others, she remembers the pain of losing the Jets.
Yeah, the tears are still on the pavement.
Rose says those tears are now tears of joy, all thanks to the return of the NHL. Wob Canoe, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Well, in Winnipeg, we were cheering today. In Atlanta, there were some tears. That southern United States city is feeling the pain Winnipeg felt 15 years ago. CBC's Mikhailo Prastupa reports.
What's Winnipeg's win today is Atlanta's loss. The former owner couldn't even speak at first about the loss of his team. He eventually said he just couldn't sustain the team's financial losses.
You know, I've been focused for years on trying to avoid this day.
As of this morning, Atlanta's mayor was still hoping for a deal.
I just think we got to work right up till the time of the press conference.
But the team today was moved, and one NHLer said the move will be tough.
Maybe for some of the older players in Atlanta, I think maybe it's a mixed emotions. I think some of them have their families and their lives and their kids that are in school and whatnot.
But as Atlanta says goodbye, Winnipeg says hello. Fans are getting to know the 23 or so well-paid NHLers now moving to this city. Like star player Dustin Byfuglien, who earns $5.2 million a year. A tough defenseman.
Chicago, they call me Big Buff. Here, I'm gonna make them call me Dustin.
He's from a small Minnesota town just 2 hours drive. That's where we reached his cousin Lisa.
So I think the Winnipeg people are going to really like his style of play. He's a tough guy. He's explosive when he needs to be, and yet he's rock solid defenseman too.
Also excited is this young Winnipeg hockey star. 18-year-old Peter Stojkovic was drafted last year by the Thrashers.
For me, not many athletes get to play in their hometown in their entire life, let alone the possibility of playing there on a nightly basis. So it's definitely exciting for me.
All the players need now are new Winnipeg homes. Mikhailo Prastupa, CBC News, Winnipeg.
So how much will it cost you to go to a game? The most expensive ticket, $129. The cheapest, $39. And there are payment plans if you'd like to get seasons passes. We'll have more on the tickets coming up at 5:30. But first, he said he'd do it, and he did. Winnipeg's Mayor Sam Cates led the celebratory conga line at the Forks today after the big announcement, and turns out he had no trouble finding dance partners. In a moment, we'll get him to describe the feeling of anticipation leading up to today's NHL return, and then Premier Greg Selinger describes his province's commitment to the team.
The return of the NHL. We all believed it was happening until that official announcement took place at 11:15. You know, it was like expecting a baby and you're excited, but until that baby's born, it's not the same, and you know what it feels like.
Our commitment is to provide resources, gaming resources, that will help the building pay down its mortgage and allow True North to focus on the job of making NHL successful in Manitoba.
Our purchase of the Atlanta Thrashers.
It is nice to be back in Winnipeg after all these years.
Oh, it's just awesome. 15 years to make it.
You got your team back. What happens next? Make CBC your source for any news on the NHL's return. When, how, and where you want it. Trust CBC News Winnipeg.
CBC has your NHL return story covered for you tonight. We have so much more to show you, including when you can get tickets, how much they'll be, and who'll get a crack at them first. CBC News at 5:30 is coming up next. Tonight, from the celebration to the fine print, just how do you get tickets and who gets them first? A lesson in team spirit.
Oh, I want to buy a jersey right now.
Plus, a healthcare report card.
Wait times may very well be a success story of the Accords.
The celebration continues at the Forks in Winnipeg. You're looking live at what's happening there now. The NHL is coming back to Winnipeg. It is official. Word today, True North Sports and Entertainment has completed a deal to buy the Atlanta Thrashers and bring them here to Winnipeg. Good evening, I'm Janet Stewart. Thank you for joining us. The party started early, 9 o'clock, actually 8:20. Thousands of people were at the Forks, Portage and Main, closed down, all to welcome an NHL team back to Winnipeg. The CBC's Sean Reynolds is on the story for you tonight. He joins us now live.
I'm at the Forks where the party is still obviously well underway. I'm told there's about 4,000 people here right now. There's supposed to be about 15,000 people who will have rolled through here by the end of the day. They're here, they're holding up signs, they're partying, they're listening to music, all here to be part of what's sure to be a defining moment in this city's history. The crowd here went nuts when Shipman announced that True North had purchased the Atlanta Thrashers and will be bringing the NHL back to Winnipeg. It's a dream he's been working on since 2007. Co-owner David Thompson is Canada's richest man. People wanted to know why a billionaire from Toronto was so interested in bringing a team back here.
There's a heartfelt sense of community in Winnipeg and in Manitoba. I've always felt inspired by the leadership, by the ambitions, and there's been more than a tinge of regret in me, as with all other Winnipeggers and Manitobans, that the Jets left.
Now this deal is, it's not quite through yet, although it's mostly through. It still has to be okayed by the Board of Governors. That's a meeting June 21st, that will happen. And the hope is that 13,000 season tickets can be sold by that time as kind of a peace offering or a way to convince the board that this is an NHL city. Reporting live from the Forks, Sean Reynolds, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Indeed, there was a warning from Gary Bettman, the NHL commissioner, today. If this is going to work, Winnipeg, you've got to support your team. So before the puck ever drops, this city has to prove it will fill the seats. How much are you going to have to cough up to be part of this NHL action? CBC's Marjorie Dowhouse joins us now live with those details.
I'm here at the Forks as well. Take a look at this crowd. They just started cheering. And you know what? They've been partying hours after the initial NHL announcement was made. But you know what? They're also celebrating ticket prices. That was one of the biggest questions for the team. We know how much the tickets are going to be, and most people here would say it's within their price range.
Thank you, champion!
Cash or credit, either way you charge it, Winnipeg hockey fans are chomping at the bit to buy tickets to the first live NHL game in 15 years.
I think one of the biggest cheers we got, besides when they said the team was coming back, was when they announced the ticket prices.
Dennis Chouinard was a Winnipeg Jets season ticket holder before the team departed in 1996. Chouinard and his grandson Cam can't wait to line up to buy season tickets for the 2011-2012 season. They've already assembled a team of people willing to buy in.
For months now, we've been talking, friends and family. We've been gathering together to pool up together, and everybody's going to get together and get a few tickets, maybe 3 or 4 tickets.
True North has launched a season ticket campaign called The Drive to 13. Their goal is to sell 13,000 season tickets before the NHL Board of Governors meeting June 1st. Individual ticket prices range from $39 to the most expensive at $129. Season tickets will cover every section of the MTS Center and range from close to $1,800 to almost $6,000 each season. But fans must sign a contract to buy that seat for 3 to 5 years. In comparison to other Canadian NHL hockey markets, Winnipeg's prices are on par with what the Flames, Oilers, and Senators offer. According to this advertising expert, True North has designed its price list according to what Winnipeggers are willing to pay, and he's confident the city will have no problem meeting that season ticket drive target.
So the pricing, I think, is perfect. The payment terms are perfect. It's almost like, you know, they're going to put you on the budget just like Hydro does, where you pay the same amount every month. So I think it's really, really fantastic. They've done their homework for sure.
But before you and I can get a crack at tickets, Moose season ticket holders, mini-pack buyers, and corporate sponsors will be offered tickets from June 1st to the 3rd. Right now, there are 2,000 Moose season ticket holders, and the sales will be made all online. The remaining buyers can start lining up June 4th, and they just can't wait.
Visa Gold, baby, Visa Gold. That's all I gotta say.
Very reasonable. I was expecting $60 at the minimum. $40 is fantastic.
We'll have no problem getting the 13,000 season tickets sold.
It seems for Winnipeggers, you can't put a price on bringing the NHL back to our backyard. Marjorie Dowhouse, CBC News, Winnipeg.
And that NHL Board of Governors meeting June 21st. Again, the website to check out all the details on that, drive to13.com. So now, does a Winnipeg NHL team mean an end to the Manitoba Moose? True North Chair Mark Chipman says no way. True North Entertainment will retain ownership of the Moose as the farm team for the new NHL team. Chipman says they haven't decided where the team will be moved to, but they are strongly considering St. John's, Newfoundland. And we're getting weather like St. John's, Newfoundland. John, weather alerts you've got to tell us about.
Yeah, at 5:22, another one was issued, Janet. Let's get into this first. Around into Friday afternoon as well. A better looking weekend and a good warm start to next week.
Go, Jets, go!
Now that we've got a team again, what are we going to call them? What's in a name? Coming up on CBC News at 6.
You know, it struck me today watching the celebrations that a lot of people celebrating in the streets were just babies when the Jets left. Well, these next fans weren't even born. In St. Vital at Hastings School today, students were watching the big announcement on TV. CBC's Patrice Mousseau was there with them to catch their excitement.
At Hastings School today, grade 5 and 6 students were as excited as anyone that the NHL is coming back to town. They will remember it was in their school library where they first heard the announcement.
Amazing.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, I want to buy a jersey right now. I'm so excited.
Mitch and his little brother Reese are planning to go to the games together.
I'm just like blown away how excited I am. I'm speechless. I'm so excited.
Amy Lee thinks it will be cool to get the team back because she wasn't even born when the Jets were here 15 years ago. Like her schoolmates we spoke to, she thinks the team should be called the Jets.
Because that's what it was before, and it just seems like it suits the team, it suits the city.
Nick came wearing his dad's old Winnipeg Jets jersey to watch the announcement. His usual favorite team is the Canucks, but when the teams will play against each other, he's torn.
I'll just hope it's a tie and go to shootout.
The school principal believed gathering around the TV for the big announcement was worth the class time.
It's a momentous, historic occasion, right? The NHL is coming back to town, back to Winnipeg, where many people felt it should always have belonged here.
Well, the kids inside were very excited, and this probably will be a moment they'll never forget. And who knows, it may have inspired some future NHL stars. Patrice Mousseau, CBC News, Winnipeg.
But for now, for tonight, the party is in Winnipeg. We have so much more to show you tonight. We're going to show you the debate on what to call Manitoba's new NHL team. Everyone's going, go Jets, go. Will they be called the Jets? CBC News at 6 begins in 2 minutes.
Nights. That's 488-8888 and get your smile and life back.
Tonight, from the Forks to Portage and Maine and MTS Center, a city gripped by hockey fever.
Another city with broken-hearted fans.
You know, I've been focused for years on trying to avoid this day.
And we're getting a team. Now it needs a name. It is the biggest party in the country, and it's happening in our city tonight.
You are looking live at what's happening at the Forks right now. Thousands of people still gathered there, even though the party was supposed to end, I think, a half an hour ago. They are celebrating the NHL's return to Manitoba. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. I'm Janet Stewart.
And I'm Mitch Peacock. It is official. The Atlanta Thrashers are heading north to here in Winnipeg.
True North Sports and Entertainment, the group spearheading this deal, made the announcement this morning. News this entire province had waited 15 years to hear.
The CBC's Sean Reynolds begins our coverage tonight from the Forks.
I'm at the Forks, where you're seeing 15 years of hope and determination finally paying off. This is basically a dream come true for a number of these people here. And it all started with an announcement this morning, an announcement people have been waiting for since 1996.
Yes, for fans of the Winnipeg Jets, this has been a long wait for this news.
Boy, is it ever. An entire generation has grown up here, never knowing what it's like to live in an NHL city, and they can't wait to find out.
Fans young and old are celebrating right behind CBC's Wob Canoe tonight. Wob?
Well, I'm here at the Forks where they've shut the music off, but nobody is going home. Take a look at all the fans here behind me. They've been partying all day, and they don't plan to leave anytime soon. Now, earlier this evening, the Forks management told us there was 4,000 people here, but the crowd has actually grown since then. There's well over 15,000 people who've made their way through this area today. This is not the only place they've been partying. They've also been at the MTS Center and Portage in Maine.
Thank you, John. Now that the team is coming, we do have an important question remaining. What are we going to call it? That has been an emotional debate for the past couple of weeks. With more on the debate, Jets, not Jets, CBC's Sheila North Wilson joins us live.
Yes, the name game has begun. Fans here and on Twitter and Facebook are weighing in on what our new NHL team should be called. Who says Winnipeg Jets?
Most of these students from Boulder, Manitoba, were probably too young to even remember the Winnipeg Jets.
But it sounds like they've heard of the little NHL team that left Winnipeg 15 years ago. Others who knew and loved the original Jets are mixed on what the new team should be called now.
The Manitoba Jets, the Polar Bears, the Falcons, just tell me where to sign up for season tickets.
Yeah, I'm the same thing. Doesn't matter what the name, I just want to see NHL hockey again.
Something most crazed hockey fans agree with today. But judging by all the jerseys and chants, it seems many still love the name Winnipeg Jets, including this guy. What do you want?
Jets, Jets.
But no one can say for sure what the name will be yet. Not even Mark Chipman at the official announcement today.
We have not fully engaged it yet. It is obviously one of the first orders of business that we'll turn ourselves to now.
The original voice of the Jets prefers the Jets name, but is not opposed to changing it either.
They can call them whatever they want because that still means they're here.
Former Mayor Susan Thompson prefers a name that includes the whole province.
Manitoba as part of the name would be very nice.
Manitoba Jets, maybe?
Maybe. Sounds nice.
Marketing experts are mixed on the name game, too.
I think you got to go with the Jets because if you don't, then if the team doesn't do well or anything goes slightly wrong, it's because we didn't get the Jets back.
They're being a little bit coy about it. I don't think we should be afraid of a fresh start.
NHL owns the Jets name, but Commissioner Gary Bettman says True North can have the name if they want it for free. Sheila North Wilson, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Well, you know, he said he'd do it. He did it, and it is a sight we're seeing again. So here once again, Mayor Sam Cates leading a celebratory conga line at the Forks today after the big announcement. He had no trouble finding dance partners to join in either. So after this dance, will there be political support for our new team? Let's hear from the mayor and then the premier.
The return of the NHL. We all believed it was happening until that official announcement took place at 11:15. You know, it was like expecting a baby and you're excited, but until that baby's born, it's not the same, and you know what it feels like.
Our commitment is to provide resources, gaming resources that will help the building pay down its mortgage and allow True North to focus on the job of making NHL successful in Manitoba.
Now, no matter what the team is called, it's going to need to sell tickets. The CBC's Marjorie Dowhouse has more on the drive to sell out MTS Center.
Listen to this crowd. The weather can't dampen anybody's spirits out here. They've been partying for hours. You know, they're also celebrating the fact that the ticket prices are reasonable. But before you and I can get a crack at those tickets, a special group will have first dibs. Right now, there are about 2,000 Moose season ticket holders, and there's also mini pack customers and corporate sponsors. Corporate will only be limited to a certain number of tickets per company. They get to purchase their tickets first from June 1st to the 3rd. The remaining season tickets will be up for grabs starting June 4th. Season tickets range between $1,700 to about $6,000, but fans must sign a contract to buy that seat for 3 to 5 years. Individual tickets will sell between $39 to $129, but no matter the price, people can't wait to start buying their tickets.
We have a few people together that we've already been talking for months now, actually pooling together, and we're going to get 2-3 seats and just divvy it up and split them up.
That's all good. I mean, that's what you got credit cards for, right? Make payments. It's all good.
Now, the prices here in Winnipeg are reasonable to other Canadian NHL cities, Calgary, Edmonton, and Ottawa. Now, also to keep in mind, these season tickets, you can pay them on a monthly basis. If you want more information about season tickets, go to drive-to13.com. Reporting from the Forks, Marjorie Dowhouse, CBC News, Winnipeg.
With today's announcement of the NHL's return to Winnipeg, many are wondering if the league only turned to True North Sports and Entertainment and our city because the Atlanta franchise was in trouble and no other group anywhere was willing to step in and buy it. National Hockey League Commissioner Gary Bettman says, no way. They're back because the circumstances are right.
We have a new economic system from the time we left. We have this arena from the time we left. We have terrific ownership in Mark Chipman and David Thompson, which is a huge difference from when we left. And most importantly, it gave us an opportunity to come back to a place that we wish we hadn't left in the first place.
Winnipeg's new NHL team missed the playoffs by a bunch last season, but the young and talented group is very much seen as a team on the rise by hockey insiders. Scott Morrison of Hockey Night in Canada says this is a squad with potential.
They're pointed in the right direction. They have a good stable of young talent. They're going to get a good pick in this draft, 7th overall. So I think this is a team that could be a very good one and a playoff-bound team fairly quickly.
There are the Thrashers on Hockey Night in Canada. Goaltender Andrei Pavlitz, part of that youthful and capable core of the new team in town. With the NHL entry draft less than a month away and free agent season just around the corner, there's lots to work to come on the hockey side of things, including confirming the status of General Manager Rick Dudley, who signed a contract extension just months ago.
We owe it to Rick Dudley and to the rest of that organization to get with him as quickly as possible, because they're people with families and expectations, and so we'll be turning ourselves to that right away.
Also important to mention that Mark Chipman said today, Craig Heisinger, general manager of the Manitoba Moose, will be an important part of hockey operations with the new NHL team here, although his position isn't clear at this stage. But Heisinger has been a huge part of the success of the Moose and sent a number of players on to success in the NHL.
Zinger, a really respected guy in these parts. Thanks very much. We leave you now with some images from the party here in Winnipeg today. Thanks for being with us.
Good night.
I am excited beyond words to announce our purchase of the Atlanta Thrashers.
Thousands erupted in cheers at the Forks this morning when the long-awaited news finally became official. The NHL is coming back to Winnipeg.
It is nice to be back in Winnipeg after all these years.
At Portage in Maine, Winnipeggers took time off work to watch the announcement on the big screen. The famous intersection was shut down over the noon hour as an impromptu street hockey game broke out.
Go Jets go! Go Jets go! Go Jets go! Go Jets go!
Good evening, and thanks for joining our special coverage of the return of the NHL to Winnipeg. It's been 15 years since the Jets left town and broke a lot of hockey fans' hearts. Today, True North Sports and Entertainment announced it has bought the Atlanta Thrashers and will move them to this city this fall. Global's Jeff Keel is live at the MTS Center Arena where the team will play. Jeff, how did this long-awaited deal finally come together?
Well, Peter, they worked into the wee hours of the morning to get this deal done. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman revealing that he was on a 4:30 a.m. conference call and things still weren't wrapped up at that time. But there is still one more milestone that has to be reached before the return of the NHL to Winnipeg is really a done deal.
I expect that our city would one day again take membership in the NHL.
And that dream has officially come true. The NHL is coming back to Winnipeg after we lost the Jets 15 years ago.
In a sense, I guess you could say that True North, our city and our province, has received the call we've long since been waiting for.
True North Sports and Entertainment has bought the Atlanta Thrashers for $170 million and is relocating the team to Winnipeg for the 2011-2012 NHL season. Billionaire David Thompson is an equal partner in the deal.
There's been more than a tinge of regret in me, as with all other Winnipeggers and Manitobans, that the Jets left.
The purchase includes a relocation fee that could be as high as $60 million. The NHL commissioner defended it today.
It ultimately goes to the total value of the franchise and who's entitled to that. And in fact, by charging a relocation fee, you make it easier for a team to stay where it is.
But 13,000 season tickets have to be sold between now and June 21st, the day the NHL Board of Governors meets to vote on the deal. Officials wouldn't even discuss the possibility of the goal not being met, but the commissioner sounded confident the deal will be approved.
As I'm observing this in my role, is that this should be on track to get to the right result.
And to help True North financially, the province is moving 90 existing VLTs to the MTS Centre to generate $4 million a year over 20 years.
To deal with the mortgage on the facility and allow the facility to carry itself, and they can concentrate their energies on making the NHL franchise viable.
Now, of course, this will mean that the Manitoba Moose AHL franchise will relocate somewhere else. It will become the farm club of the Winnipeg team, no longer of the Vancouver Canucks. We don't know where yet. Newfoundland is a possibility, according to True North. One thing we did confirm today, NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman saying the Winnipeg team will play in the Southeast Division for 1 year, and then it will be moved to the West after that. Peter.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Was Jeff Keel sporting his Jets jersey live at the MTS Center tonight. So, as we've heard, before this deal is approved, the league would like to see 13,000 season tickets sold. Global's Nelly Gonzalez now breaks down the price of NHL hockey in Winnipeg and whether we're willing to pay.
Ken and I live in Kenora, and we drove in this morning just for this announcement. We got season tickets. We're going to be here. Jets are back, baby!
Now that an NHL team is coming back to Winnipeg, fans will have to prove the city can support an NHL team.
To be candid, this isn't going to work very well unless this building is sold out every night.
Board approval will consider the level of support generated in Winnipeg during a season ticket campaign.
The Drive to 13,000 campaign begins tomorrow at 1 p.m. for Moose season ticket holders. The general public will have to wait until Saturday at noon.
We've had Moose tickets all year just so that we can make sure that we get seats for the new team.
There are 7 price ranges for season tickets. The cheapest, P7, cost $1,755, and you just commit to 3 years. The mid-range P4 package costs $3,555 for a commitment of 4 years. The most expensive seats, P1s, are $6,305 for a commitment of 5 years.
We're going to use some of his birthday money so he can go too, so let's go Jets!
True North says ticket prices will compare with other Canadian markets. In Winnipeg, ticket prices will range from $39 to $129. In Ottawa, tickets range from $29 to $141. In Edmonton, tickets go from $30 to $176. Monthly payment plans will also be an option.
I'm afraid I don't got the money to do it right away. I might have to wait a little bit if there's any left.
Nelly Gonzalez, Global News.
So hockey fans will eventually have to put their money where their mouth is, but today was a day for celebrating the return of the NHL. Thousands gathered at the Forks this morning to share the moment. Global's Tamara Furlansky was there too, and Tamara, it looks like the party still hasn't stopped.
No, that's right, Peter. The weather's not great, but that's not stopping all the fans from behind me from chanting everything from "We want Timu" to "Go Jets Go," and even singing the national anthem, all to celebrate NHL's return to Winnipeg. If you think this is a party, you should have been here just a few hours ago.
I'm excited beyond words to announce our purchase of the NHL.
Thousands of hockey fans converged on the Forks to witness the announcement for themselves. The NHL is returning to our city.
It's been a long time coming! 15 long years!
She's crying on the phone! I almost cried when they announced it too. I was so excited. I'm still shaking. I am still shaking.
When we were young, you don't realize what you've got until it's gone. And all of a sudden, it being gone for the last 15 years was a real hole in the city.
Go Jets, go! Go Jets, go!
Even those who weren't born when the Jets were around know how historic today is.
How do you feel right now?
Good.
Why?
Because the Jets are coming back.
Yay! Are you gonna go?
Yeah.
Are you sure you're happy?
Yeah.
As for those kids pulled out of school, they got to see their hockey parents go hysterical.
Well, my dad's crazy.
I've had this jersey for about 15 years since they left, actually, and I've been following the Jets from the time I was about 8 or 9 years old, so I couldn't be happier about this. This is the best day ever.
And having the NHL back in the city serves as a homecoming of sorts for former Jets.
I just feel great. It's just a wonderful day and tremendously exciting for everybody.
I can't really believe that we're back here announcing the team. Unfortunate that we left, but I mean, I'm a former player, but I'm here as a fan.
What an atmosphere. It's a lot of fun. It's just great to be here. And it's one of the greatest days in Winnipeg.
Now, even though the last scheduled band has just wrapped up on the stage here, something tells me that this party at the Forks isn't going to wrap up anytime soon. Back to you, Peter.
Looks like fun. Thanks, Tamara. Global's Tamara Furlansky live at the Forks tonight. Now, city officials had urged partiers not to block Portage and Main today, but they did anyway. Police closed the intersection off for a couple hours, and that was just one of the places where hockey excitement seemed to take over this city today. Global's Lindsay Warner reports.
Where were you when word came down that the NHL is returning?
That Winnipeg is once again
For hundreds of U of M students, it was a shocking revelation that turned a sleepy graduation into an electrifying roar.
It was exciting because I never expected that, but during our turn, it was really exciting.
At 11:15 this morning, nothing else seemed to matter. The city brought to a standstill as offices cleared into sports bars.
All right, go Jets, go!
We had to come down here. We're not working, as you can tell.
Feels great. It feels so doggone good. I'm drinking before noon.
The enthusiasm soon spilling out to the inevitable Portage and Main.
Go Jets, go! Go Jets, go!
Roads blocked, buses rerouted, police keeping a watchful eye.
Fun to be here, guys.
And kids pulled from school to witness history in the making.
You excited, Ty? Do you like it that hockey's coming back to Winnipeg, the big leagues?
Although police say the Portage and Main party brought no problems, they reopened the intersection shortly after 1 o'clock. But that didn't mean a return to worker productivity.
Absolutely, we should be at work right now, but we got a little bit of permission to come join the festivities.
Companies like Cruise Media Group took the entire day off, opting instead for rooftop drinks and hockey.
You can't help but have a sense of pride to have the Jets come back.
Lindsay Warner, Global News.
Now, as Winnipeggers celebrate the return of the NHL, another city, of course, is mourning the loss of its team. Today, the former owner of the Atlanta Thrashers broke down after the deal was done.
It's, it's an emotional day for me. Just give me a second. I've been focused for years on trying to avoid this day, and I've spent time with possible investors going back 4 years ago, and with a concern that this day may come.
And Craig's here now, the first check on weather, so it seemed to hold off mostly around the city for the celebrating today, but causing a lot of problems elsewhere.
Yeah, I saw the sun at one point today around the announcement, which is good, but yeah, that storm system continues to wreak havoc right across southern Manitoba.
Well, back to our extended coverage of the return of the NHL. Now, one thing today's announcement did not cover is what the team will be called when it starts playing here this fall. It was named the Thrashers after the Georgia state bird, but that won't fly here in Jets country. Global's Heather Steele is live at the MTS Center with more, also sporting her Jets jersey tonight. What are people saying about what this team should be called, Heather?
Well, Peter, I think Winnipeggers spoke for themselves today. You would have had to have been walking through the city with your eyes closed to have not spotted these jerseys everywhere. I wouldn't even venture a guess as to how many were wandering around the city. Of course, the big question now is, will this logo match the one at center ice when the new team arrives? Will these jerseys that so many Winnipeggers have held on to for 15 years match the players? Now, of course, as we know, there's no shortage of opinions in the city when it comes to what the team should be called. Many feeling that with a new era of hockey warrants a new team name. And then, of course, as we've also seen in our show tonight, a massive outpouring of support for ties to history in the original Jets name. Now, the NHL owns the Jets name and logo, and Gary Bettman made it clear today that the Jets name is not off the table.
If, in fact, they decide they want to use the Jets name, we will make it available to them. But that's really a call that I think they're best able to make, being here in the market.
The Moose, we're passionate about that brand. We'll never lose that brand in our family of companies, whether we operate that here or whether we operate the Moose brand in another city. Time in short order will give you the answer to that.
Now, Peter, whether that means that this new team will be called the Moose, we will find that out soon. There is no date set in terms of a deadline for naming the new team, and officials have said they don't necessarily have a new team and logo in place in time for the NHL draft, which will be at the end of June. If the Jets one is used, Gary Bettman says it will come at no cost. Peter.
And after $170 million, that's good news. Thanks, Heather. Global's Heather Steele live at the MTS Center tonight. We'll get to... Well, the return of the NHL to Winnipeg means not only big league hockey is back in town, it could also mean big money for the city. Global's Lorraine Nickel is live at Four Place Sports Bar on Portage Avenue. Lorraine, lots of happy fans in there, it sounds like. spending money, too.
Yeah, Peter, you know what? These guys are continuing to party here, and this will continue throughout the year as the NHL is here, because economic impact in this city means good news for business.
Go Jets, go! Go Jets, go! You know what it is?
The return of the NHL has businesses seeing dollar signs.
Us being right across the street from MTS, we've been looking so forward to hearing the news.
Foreplay Sports Bar put up this sign last week. Now it's going on a hiring spree.
We expect it to double, so we are going full force and making sure we have the best service here, and yeah, we're going to be ready.
Mayor Sam Cates says Winnipeg got a major confidence boost today, which attracts businesses to open up shop here.
You will see a lot of creative entrepreneurs opening up new establishments, there's no question, and there will be some more announcements happening in the very near future about our downtown.
Overall, we think it's a very positive economic impact for Manitoba, even at very cautious sort of calculations. We think it'll be very positive for the province.
When the NHL returns to Winnipeg, experts say it'll be difficult to find an empty room in a hotel, but immediate change will happen in downtown.
In terms of restaurants, pubs and bars, you're going to see increases in terms of the demand for hotel space.
Every year, 2.6 million people visit Winnipeg, pumping $481 million into the local economy. That's expected to go way up.
We have a team that is in proximity to a lot of areas within our catchment area, North Dakota, Saskatchewan, Northwestern Ontario. They are hungry to be able to have an opportunity to see an NHL team.
Peter, consider this. The Atlantic Thrashers payroll was $45 million. That's the equivalent of bringing a company to Winnipeg with 1,200 employees.
That's a lot of money and a lot of happy fans. Thanks, Lorraine. It was Lorraine Nickel live on Portage Avenue tonight. Now let's go to Joe Piscucci for another look at sports. Such a huge day for sports in Winnipeg, but also some questions about the team itself, exactly what it's made up of, who's going to be on it.
Right, it's a team that hasn't made the playoffs but once in their existence in Atlanta, but it's a team with a lot of promise. We know that the management team is solid, led by Mark Chipman, but what about the Thrashers themselves? We'll delve into that question right after this. Well, we don't know what the team will be called, but we do know that the team heading to Winnipeg from Atlanta has missed the playoffs in 11 of their 12 years in Georgia. But as Russ Hobson shows us, the Thrashers have a solid young nucleus to build around.
We get to be back in a place we wish we hadn't left in 1996.
The NHL is back, and Winnipeg is getting a team on the rise. In the past, the Thrashers have been underachievers, but after years of top 10 picks, this franchise is now poised to take the next step.
Obviously, there's some really exciting young talent. We've always believed in a hard work ethic, and we think there's a core of that there that we'll build around.
The salary cap is expected to be about $62 million next season, with the floor at $46 million. And the club will probably fall on the lower end of the scale right out of the gate.
We've bought the ability to play in the league, but we're not going to buy a team this year. We're not going to run into the free agency market and try and buy an instant team. We're going to build this team from the great core that it has.
Buckland shot star! The yet-to-be-named team will play 1 year in the Southeast Division in the Eastern Conference, meaning 3 home games against Alexander Ovechkin and the Capitals, and another 2 home games against Crosby and the Penguins.
In order to actually get a schedule out at any time that would be useful, the team will have to stay in the Southeast for 1 year, but for the following season, the team will be in the West.
And the first order of business for the franchise is to decide who stays and who goes when it comes to management and coaches. And it's something that has to be done fast with the draft just 3 weeks away. But it should be pointed out that Mark Chipman and GM Rick Dudley go way back.
Rick Dudley is a very highly regarded guy that I've known for 15 years and personally have a high regard for. He and his staff have been, preparing for the draft without any of the certainty that you'd hope to have as a professional. And we need to, and I've been able to engage Rick, and I need to do that. That really is a priority for us.
So the season ticket drive starts tomorrow for existing season ticket holders of the Moose, and then Saturday for everybody else. Drive to 13,000.
Go to drive-to13.com.
Drive-to13.com. That's all our time for tonight. Thanks very much for joining us. Have a good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Well, this is the day fans have been waiting for. The party started mid-morning, and in true diehard fashion, hockey fever continues. Global's Night Watch reporter Heather Steele is standing by at Party Central. Heather.
Shannon, what an amazing day to be a Winnipegger. The party has been going on here all day long. Take a look at what is happening behind me under the canopy right now, and this is just so much excitement. Now, of course, this party started very early this morning when we were all supposed to be at work.
To announce our purchase of your welfare.
And with that, a Tuesday morning party begins, the type of celebration that's been building for 15 years.
She was crying on the phone. I almost cried when they announced it too. I was so excited. I'm still shaking. I am still shaking.
Thousands pour into the Forks to hear the news for themselves, as though it's too big a dream come true to believe.
It's been a long time coming! 15 long years!
When we were young, you don't realize what you've got until it's gone. And all of a sudden, it being gone for the last 15 years was a real hole in the city.
Are you gonna go? Yeah. Are you sure you're happy? Yeah.
Children pulled from school and parents unable to muster up a day of work at a time like this.
I've had this jersey for about 15 years since they left, actually, and I've been following the Jets from the time I was about 8 or 9 years old, so I couldn't be happier about this. This is the best day ever.
As day turns to night, the party continues. Strangers brought together by a passion for a team that isn't even named yet. But don't tell that to the thousands sporting jerseys for a team they never stopped loving.
Might be another team, but it's still going to be the Jets to everybody.
A possibility that isn't off the table, says the commissioner of the league, who owns the Jets name and logo.
If, in fact, they decide they want to use the Jets name, we will make it available to them. But that's really a call that I think they're best able to make being here in the market.
Former players of the Jets aren't worried about names today. They celebrate as fans who feel it's finally as it should be.
I just feel great. It's just a wonderful day and tremendously exciting for everybody.
What an atmosphere. It's a lot of fun. It's just great to be here. And it's one of the greatest days in Winnipeg.
I'll call you back. I'm on TV. Now, this is one of the many, many fans, and we're talking thousands of people that are now here at the Forks.
Okay, thanks, Heather. Lots of fun down there. She's reporting for us tonight from the Forks. Obviously, if you want to head down, I think that party is going to be going on for quite a while. I just had a question for anybody who still wants to head down to the Forks.
Okay, go.
I'm excited.
Yes.
If you want to go, what do you wear?
You can still go. It's just going to be cold and windy and rainy. So
Pardon me.
go maybe tomorrow when it's sunny. And it's June tomorrow. We're heading into it on a sunny note and warm note.
Awesome.
You're right.
Joe is here
You've
now.
been away for a while, haven't you?
Yeah, a little bit. You have seen it all. You've been here through it all.
I've seen
right?
a lot of it.
The Jets.
Yes.
I saw somebody on Twitter ask if CK&D Sportsline was coming back with the...
That would be nice, wouldn't it, for all those people who remember Sportsline and Gene Principe and Darren Millard, who was in town today on behalf of Sportsnet. So it was fun to see him again. But yes, that would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
the fans, maybe we'll bring back the bloopers from Sportsline one day. But of course, the big talk, the return of the NHL. And you know what? We're getting a pretty good team. They didn't make the playoffs last year, but the Thrashers are not bad.
And Joe, just as we were talking about telling people to head down there, don't head down there. Winnipeg police are now sending people home. They're saying it's gotten unsafe.
That's at the Forks.
That's at the Forks. Okay, coming up. Okay, so of course, returning to our top story. Today's the kind of day when everybody's going to go, where were you when? Have a look at this.
That Winnipeg is once again.
Okay, so hundreds of University of Manitoba students, the news came smack dab in the middle of their graduation. The usually dry ceremony, as you can tell, quickly turned into a thunderous celebration.
Yeah!
It was exciting because I never expected that, but during our turn, it was really exciting.
The president of the U of M interrupted the grad to say, hold on, The NHL is coming to Winnipeg.
I'm curious how many people called in sick today.
Oh, I think a lot of people just sort of left work and went to the party.
Little party. Update.
Left school.
The wind warning has ended, so the wind is starting to calm down. So.
Tonight on News Final.
After years of dreaming and weeks of speculation, hockey fans finally celebrate with the NHL's return to Winnipeg.
I'm Craig Larkins. We'll see the return of sunshine tomorrow. Temps will climb to the high teens, but there's rain in the forecast for Thursday. All those details in minutes.
And in sports, the Gold Eyes look to extend their winning streak in a doubleheader against the Red Hawks.
From the Global Winnipeg Studios, News Final with Shannon Martin.
I am excited beyond words to announce our purchase of the Atlanta Thrashers.
Thousands erupted in cheers at the Forks this morning when the long-awaited news finally became official. The NHL is coming back to Winnipeg. True North Sports and Entertainment has bought the Atlanta Thrashers for $170 million and is relocating the team to Winnipeg for the 2011-2012 NHL season.
It is nice to be back in Winnipeg after all these years.
Thanks for joining us. Tonight, the party shows no sign of slowing down. Things have gotten a little intense at the Forks. Police shut down the event there. Let's bring in Global's Night Watch reporter Heather Steele, who is live for us from Portage in Maine. Heather.
I can tell you that the police are doing their best to keep everything under control as unruly fans, and some of them really behaving themselves. This party has been going since, well, 11 this morning. 12 hours later, the enthusiasm has not stopped. Go Jets, go!
Try and get that story for you a little later. Well, we can tell you the battle is not over just yet. 13,000 season tickets have to be sold between now and June 21st, the day the NHL Board of Governors meets to vote on the deal. So the Drive to 13,000 campaign begins tomorrow at 1 o'clock for Moose season ticket holders. The general public will have to wait until noon Saturday. There are 7 price ranges for season tickets.
This isn't going to work very well unless this building is sold out every night.
Well, we are going to go now to Craig Larkins. A crazy night in Winnipeg. Craig, not the best weather to be outside tonight.
Not the best weather at all, Shannon, but kudos to all those fans who are braving the elements right now. And throughout the day, unfortunately, we are seeing some unruly people out there, so simmer it down a tad.
One of the best-known Atlanta Thrasher players is Dustin Byfuglien, who knows about playing hockey in Manitoba. He played in the Western Hockey League with the Wheat Kings. Last year, the Minnesota native was one of the reasons the Blackhawks won the Stanley Cup, and Big Buff had this reaction to now playing in Winnipeg.
It's going to be a little bit of a change for everybody, just the way everything's ran and, you know, especially the temperature-wise, that's for sure. Coming from a different organization and whole new people picking it up, and everything's going to be ran different, and you know, it's going to be a change. I enjoyed playing in Atlanta. I mean, I'll enjoy playing in Winnipeg too. They're both going to be. Atlanta was a great city. I definitely enjoyed my time up there. That's for sure. But you know, that's now it's over, and you know, it's time to move on and just proceed in Winnipeg. It should be all right.
Well, a man who will have a huge role to play in the success of the new Winnipeg NHL team is Craig Heisinger, who was keeping a low profile today, the general manager of the Manitoba Moose for the last 9 years, not wanting to talk about what his involvement will be day to day. But Mark Chipman says Zinger will be a key member of the management team.
I don't know what the title will be, but it'll be call it vital, okay? Craig and I have been working in this business for many years. I can't explain the level of trust I have for him. He is a very, very highly regarded executive in this business. You know, you guys know the numbers in Vancouver, the kids that have come through here through the draft and otherwise that Craig just found, that are undrafted players that are playing very big roles starting tomorrow night, so he'll have a vital role in what we do going ahead.
These decisions have to be made before the draft, or do you think you keep everything in place?
No, we're going to have to get these things done before the draft, for sure.
Does Craig have an eye on a guy he wants in that draft?
You know, Craig, I would never underestimate what Craig has been thinking about in terms of scouring through central scouting and who those kids are. He will have a highly developed understanding of who's going to be available in that round.